Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Cosmoteer, where in the previous episode we built this new vessel here for launching missiles. Doesn't have much to it yet, we've built the framework and then we're gonna see if this is the right ratio of missile launchers to missile manufacturer and stuff like that, see how it goes. And also I asked for a name at the end of last episode, and the name I decided on based on people's suggestions was Crossbow. That was one of the most popular ones, and I thought it was quite fitting. I was considering bow, but I thought I'd add a bit more to it. I might just end up calling it bow anyway. It's the same thing either way. It throws arrows, bolts, whatever, something like that. It throws projectiles. I guess they all do that, apart from this one. In fact, no, this still does it, because it's got, I guess this is projectiles. There's been an update, anyway. There's been an update that's introduced a lot of little different things here and there, and a couple of big things too. We're going to encounter a lot of them in this episode. There are now fleets, basically enemy fleets. Before we had our own formations that we could form and we were building our own fleets. Now the enemy will sometimes have groups of ships instead of one big ship, and the group will be made up of smaller ones so that it still fits the difficulty level of a particular sector. So it'll be interesting to find out just what sort of ships we'll see in that. Whether when we jump to the elite sectors we'll then see it seems to be 3 is the common amount to have in a group. So maybe it's 3 from this level of sector, which would be a little bit scary, or maybe it's 3 from the next one down, or maybe it's a mix to sort of add up to the same amount of overall value. Not really sure what that's going to be like. It'll be interesting to see how our fleet deals with having multiple ships to battle at once, because so far we've managed to avoid that sort of thing. And there's been a lot of little different changes to weapons to make them more or less powerful in certain situations, and overall it's a bad day for shields, I would say. Missiles will now cause damage behind shields, which means that the stacked shield system we've got on the spear is going to be a lot less effective. And also, electrobolts now just go straight through shields. They'll damage them a little bit as they hit them, but mainly they'll go through them and then hit things below. So the spear's in a bit of trouble. We're going to have to see how it fares now that the enemy is a little bit more competent. Also, some rebalancing to how point defense works, so it's better at taking out small numbers of missiles, but worse at taking out large numbers, so you can overwhelm them more easily, that sort of thing. I imagine we might see a couple of changes to how the battles go once we get into them, and test these things against each other. But yeah, what it means is that as soon as this shield is out, missiles start hitting this one, they're going to knock out this, and possibly maybe even clip these as well, depends on exactly how big the explosion will be. And also, electrobolts, they're going straight through, they're going to hit these things no matter what we do. But it won't be the end of the world. I think this ship is still effective. I think this is still a good design to go with. It's just been made slightly less cheesy, and now there's a bit of challenge to it, and it's going to be able to be defeated by certain kinds of builds. So yeah, let's try it out. Last episode we built this. We were in the veteran sectors. The next one up is elite. Now, I've only just built this, and I've not tested it whatsoever. So the obvious thing to do would be to stay at this level and just give it a couple of test runs against some veteran ships when it's got the backup of other ships that can deal with it. But that's boring, and there's no veteran sectors nearby, so let's go straight to elite and see how it does. I don't know why I selected everyone. I already had them selected. Let us plot a jump. So where is the nearest one? It's the red ones with a single stripe across, and then there's ones that have double stripes, and they're more scary. That's Vanguard. We're not ready, we'll die. So let's go for the nearest elite sector. Only 3 enemies to deal with, though it's possible that that could mean 3 challenges, one of which is a fleet. I'm not really sure how that works. I do believe that old saves started before this update will still have the oh wow, yeah, this thing is apparently, our new ship is very good at charging its FTL drive, a lot quicker than everyone else. But yeah, I don't know. I think it is the case that saves started before this update will still have the fleets in them. Looks like we don't have any here though, so let's just see what the elite ships are like. One thing at a time, really. Let's deal with the fleets once we know we can deal with one ship equal to the fleet, and already we are in range because of the sensors on the crossbow. It can see quite a way away from itself now, much larger area. Also, changed how formations work. It was slightly tweaked how they worked, so now it defaults to when you order a fleet to, when you order a formation to attack an enemy, they will all separately attack it rather than trying to fly at it as a fleet, so that if your ion beam ships are off to the side, they can't fire because they're facing the wrong way, stuff like that. Lots of little quality of life things. The dev is definitely listening to feedback, which is always a good thing to see. So we've got the warrior. It's pretty bulky. There's a lot going on with this. We've got an ion beam, a little bit of shielding, fair bit of shielding. Wow, lots of laser bolt thing weaponry on the side. So, yeah, even if it turns to the side, you're still going to be getting hit by a lot of stuff. That's going to be a little bit painful to start with. We'll see if we can knock those out fairly quickly. The reactors are very well inside the ship, so we're not getting to those anytime soon. Those ones we've got a chance. It's a weakness here. We could try and just blast through that and try and take out the 2 wings quickly. We've got to be a lot more strategic now because our ships are smaller than the enemy. That's the thing. Can we look at the value? Let me see how much this is worth. This is worth... yes, I think there was some rebalancing to costs now, because that seems low to me. The ship definitely is worth more than that. I think there's been a lot of changing to how money works and stuff like that. There's multiple difficulty settings now. I don't know what difficulty setting I'm in. I'm going to assume the medium one because that would make sense. Don't know whether that's made things easier or harder for me. Right, we should be careful. We've got to make sure we're all approaching at once. I'm going to form a formation and then I'm probably going to do a bit of editing to it because it's not... Oh, that's interesting. It's the crossbow is now the largest ship. It is considered to be the center of the formation, so... Let's get everyone into position. Come on, Mace, you're holding everybody up here. Swing into place. You've overshot a bit there. Yeah, we perhaps need more thrusters for strafing. The ship has now left. It's gone out of sensor range. There's another one about to come in, though. Maybe we'll end up changing our target here. Right, I'm going to do a bit of tweaking to this. In fact, that's what I was going to do, so I guess I could just order that, and that'll do what I was looking for. I was wanting the crossbow to be a little bit further back, just to be safe. So they're going off in that direction. They're taking their sweet time, because getting all these ships to coordinate with each other is a nightmare. You can see they're barely moving forwards, occasionally firing thrusters. They're just drifting. Yeah, I'm still not 100% happy with the formation thing. I think there needs, like... Either they need to loosen up the tolerances a bit so that ships can be a little bit more off and still try and fly forward, or make it so that you can modify that yourself and decide exactly how close to the formation you've ordered you want them to be. Right. Everyone separately target. You didn't. Target, please. I think I've ended up targeting a random particular system. I have. I guess I might as well. Fire at the center and just try and hit it on all sides with the missiles as much as possible. You try and knock out that there. See if you can go for that sneaky tactic at the side. Let's determine distances. We've got to do all this at once here. We can't start by just sending them at them and hoping it all goes well. So I'm going to say you go there. Back up a bit because I'm scared. Then you... How far back can you be? You're pretty much where you want to be already. And then the spear. Wrong one. Spear. Let me see. Yeah, this just shows the range of the beam. Let's go around to the side a bit. We want people to not be interfering with each other. What's the range of the beam? I can't tell. Oh, no, it lights up when you're close enough. Fair enough. You don't have to worry about proximity that much. You'll be fine. But I'm a bit concerned that he's going to be targeting the crossbow because the crossbow is the larger ship. That would be a problem. We have the shielding on the front at least, so it's not going to immediately die. But it has been pointed out that if this thing goes, it goes. A chain reaction of all of these factories and all of these generators is quite likely. I think it would get this whole thing destroyed in one go, leaving just a cluster of engines at the back and maybe a couple of the shields at the front. So yeah, it's a bit of a weak point there. This thing shouldn't be in a fight, but it needs to get close enough, and I believe missile ranges might have been shortened recently. I'm not really sure. We are going slow-mo for this. We need to be paying lots of attention and reacting quickly. It seems like he's going for the mace. That is good. The mace can deal with the hits. I prefer the spear, but this isn't too bad. Make sure you're facing with the shield's mace. Oh, he's taking all the hits, but I think that's just to be expected. Apparently we fired these already. I wasn't paying attention. How's the loading going? It's taking a while for people to get into position. Once they're there, hopefully they'll be able to work really well and keep the loading going quickly. It's just that I don't have enough people up at the front to be ready to start ferrying things. Right, how are things going? Their shields are still up, but we've wrecked them on this side here, so that reactor's a little bit exposed. That shield has failed as well. That's probably thanks to the spear, maybe also the crossbow. You might manage to break through to that before this guy starts to do too much damage to us. Right, let's get back on it. You're trying to swing around to the side, but he's not having it. He wants to keep facing you. He's trying to keep the beam on you, but it's sort of failing and just hitting the side. Our shields are still pretty strong. Oh, you see, that was what I was worried about. Our missiles are hitting our own ship, so we're wasting some of our shots there. How are we going with this? We ready with the next volley yet? No, but it's getting close. People are there. They're moving the stuff. Meanwhile, the spear is becoming useless. Forget the fancy targeting. Can I reset that? I don't want to do fancy targeting anymore. Can I? It didn't let me do that. Why didn't I just want to target the thing now. Whoops. No, I don't want to select the power storage. Just the ship. Oh, I've done weird things now. There we go. Couple of changes. You now select parts of the ship. Like, it used to be a non-default thing. Now it's default. I'm just getting used to that. I guess just reposition to that. I've forgotten how to otherwise make it work. I just want you to shoot at him. Oh, hang on. I was told... Hang on. Is it... Control is how you do attack angles? Shift and control. What was it? Someone told me what it was, and I've forgotten it now. But someone told me how to target using the grid rather than the ship as a reference point, and I thought it was holding down control or something, but I can't quite work out how that works. We'll try that again later. How are things going? Doing damage, but he's doing damage to us. The mace's main shields have failed. It's starting to take hits on the front. Might have to duck out of the fight if this guy keeps focusing on it, because at the moment, not much has happened on the front there. We've not even breached these shields. However, at the back, it's looking very good. The missiles from the mace have ended up swinging around the side, going straight for what we wanted it to. You know what? If the missiles are so good at homing in on exactly where you want them to be, then I'm going to make sure to target that spot with the crossbow as well. Come on, Spear. You're not doing anything, and that's no good right now. We want everyone acting. We have explosions on the front of the mace. At some point, he's going to have to spin around and start running, I think. Nearly got this, though. We've got missiles coming in. That should hit. And there goes that wing. Awesome. In that case, retarget to the other side. Let's just see if we can take out those, and then that gives us a route. In fact, no. Go straight for that one. I reckon that has given us a path to the center there. That will work. Spear, what are you doing? Spear, please. Actually do things. How can I make you attack properly? Just do that. Just attack the thing. I don't know how to cancel these orders. So I just have to keep giving new orders. What? Let me look at these buttons. None of these are helpful. I tried this and it didn't work, so I can't do anything. But just please point at him and fire the beams. There we go. That's looking fairly good. Mace is in trouble. We got some fires, but that should be fine. We are very close to taking out that reactor. If we do that, the whole thing's dead, basically. The front will fall off. It's always good when the front falls off. Not for them, of course. They were meant to build it so the front wouldn't fall off. And there it goes! And the front's fallen off. Now they only have one reactor left, and it's in that section there. That is fantastic news. We could just mince this remaining stuff here. Oh, we've crashed into each other here because the mace and the spear have conflicting orders. Spear, try and just get round there. Mace, I guess, carry on. Whatever. It's fine now. We should be okay. Let's get back up to normal speed at this point. I think we're safe. It's just spinning. A couple of shots still firing at us, but wasn't enough. There's the money. And already, there's another ship over here. Sarah, we've seen this one before. This was in the veteran sectors. Has this been promoted? I'm not sure if there's certain ships that that like bridge the gap and are in both sectors, or whether it's a promotion style thing that the update has changed it. So yeah, the mace took a bit of damage, but overall it held. Lost the central shield generator and a gun, but everything else is fairly okay. I am fine with that. Oh, a bit of a stray shot there. And nothing happened at all to the spear and the crossbow. The mace took all the hits, so for a tenth of the money that we got from the guy, we were able to do full repairs. Something about hiring crew, but I think we just did that automatically. Let us go on to the next ship. Once again, we'll get in formation just to make sure that no one arrives there too early, because that would be doom and destruction. And there's a bit of a faff about over here. Come on, Mace, you can do it. You can maneuver between these two ships. I know it's difficult. Okay, just spear, get out the way. Mace, get over there. Crossbow, what are you doing? No, don't attack. Mace, go on. Get in formation. There we go. Right, go fight him. You can do it. There we go. They're slowly beginning to progress. Here we go. They're on their way. I don't like how close this guy's getting to the other guy. It's still quite a way, though. It's because the sensor range is massive now. I feel like everyone's closer together. Here he is. He's only got 3 shields on the front. That's the thing. We've dealt with this before, so we know it should be fine. I think this was a slightly more challenging than the normal one we faced last time, but overall still pretty good. If I'm targeting this, is it? It's not quite right. Break formation. Cancel that. Everyone just go for your respective things. Just target the reactor at the back, blast through everything else to get there. I mean, you can't target anywhere specifically, but whatever. You as well. Your shots might swing around the back and just take out the reactor that way. Hang on a minute. People are converging. This is no good. You... Oh, that's gone wrong. You move this way. And you move this way. Got to make sure that everyone has room to actually fire their weapons, or we'll just be queuing up to be destroyed. Okay, spear. That wasn't quite what I had in mind, like, at all. You're blocking the mace. This is dumb. You've been ordered over there and you're not going over there. We've destroyed him either way. It was a relatively weak ship, so it's fine. But that was an uncoordinated mess. And already, an enemy is approaching. The fire starter. This looks... Oh, this looks pretty scary. Okay, right. Everyone, get on with repairs nice and quick. Is that everyone fixed? I assume so. It should have... Hang on, are you fixed? It's hard to tell. You've got something unpowered over there, but I think it's all fine. Right, everyone... Formation again. Target him. So make sure to spin around and get into position first. Then try fighting it. Oh, he's leaving. He's off again. But yeah, this guy looks terrifying. This looks like a difficult one. Like, this thing is so bristling with weapons, and the reactors are so well shielded. I don't know how well we're going to do against this. This seems a bit... This seems like upper level of elite, which is scary. But let's try it. Gotta see if we can do it. And let's see if we can order. I'm going to try ordering just relative to the grid if I can. Now, how does it... I want you to attack, and then if I hold control, it doesn't work. Is it not control? I'll check the settings between episodes. I thought that was what it was, but apparently I am insane. Whoops. I'm just trying to press different buttons to see if it'll magically work, and it's not. Oh, now I've selected the crew quarters. No, just the mace. Target. And then specifically... that side. Basically just be separate from everyone else. I could stay in close range. Spear. I mean, maybe this is one we just try and attack from 3 different sides entirely. So you try... Mace attack from the front, because we know he's going to go for the mace, because... the bigger ship is... It's got the most weapons, so... he likes it the most. And then you... Oh, that's not right at all. Hold on. Move this out. Right over to there. Extreme of your range, and then spear. Do the same. Base from that way. And then hopefully that'll mean that our ships can actually get into the positions we want, because the mace is where he wants it to be. That sort of thing. I'm a bit worried that the crossbow might end up caught in the crossfire if he isn't careful about how he approaches this particular fight. Let's get into slow-mo and take a proper look at this. The mace is arriving too soon, I would say. That's a lot of cannon fire. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a lot. He's gonna, like... Have we already lost something there? No, that was just... I think it was an explosion that managed to sneak through somehow, maybe. I feel like the entire purpose of the mace right now is to field the first volley and then run away. Because this is going to knock out all his shields. Yep, they're going, and he's still got cannon fire coming at him. Turn immediately. Can I order you to turn? Give him that side ear for the moment. Please turn. Don't waste any time doing other things. Okay, cancel the combat stuff. Just go there, facing that way. Just try and get some of their shots to not slam straight into where they want them to slam. That's getting close to the reactors. Oh no. And he's not turning. Please turn. He's trying. He's firing the engines, but this is happening in such a short space of time that he... Oh no. Although the ammo factory is similarly explosive. I think the mace is about to go. I think we're about to lose the thing. Crossbow, forget trying to target like you're trying to target. Just shoot him where you stand. Don't try and go over there. You'll get murdered straight after the mace does. Spear, also, please just point straight at him and fire. No more maneuvering. Did I say mace? I meant spear. I think we're about to lose him. I don't think there's anything we could do. We cannot possibly move quick enough to avoid these remaining shots. Yep, they're all just going straight in there. That's about to go, that's about to go. The angle's starting to be more that way, but I don't think it's enough, and there's fires everywhere as well. Will people be able to put those out quick enough, even if we get away from this? Oh, there it goes. Oh no. Oh, they're all dead. They're all dead, right. There it goes, the mace is gone. We're down to 2 ships, and they are not built to fight without the mace as their backup, really. That's the thing. This is missiles, this is beams. They need to be not fighting this thing. We could try and run away, but I don't think we'll manage it. Oh, look at it. It's just gone. There's nothing left. We've got some time before the thing turns around, before it goes full pelt on us. It's now trying to batter the crossbow, and it's very quickly doing shield damage there. Crossbow, please get away. Why aren't you firing your reverse thrusters? I've ordered you back there. Move back there. That's the wrong ship. You go back to fighting that. Oh, that's how I can cancel it. I can order them back to this, and then... Yep, do this. But I'm going to order you here so that you don't turn around. No, don't turn around! Oh, that is the right way around. Reverse, reverse. Full reverse. See what you can do, Spear, but I don't have much faith here. Yeah, you're doing light damage to everything, which is no good. And you're starting to take hits on the shields. You can't rotate because then you won't be firing your weapons anymore, so that's a bit terrible. The crossbow, as it turns out, I don't think its missile loading is very good. I think we just need more missile launchers overall instead. Go for the initial strike thing. That seems to be the best way. Oh, don't! You're just any insult to injury now. Spending precious energy destroying what remains of the mace. At some point, though, a part of this will get far enough away. It's this part. This is the mother section, as far as I can tell. Yeah, all these ones here are just their own corresponding bits. This has the blueprint for the entire ship. If this survives and drifts away far enough that it doesn't get shot at for a while, we can rebuild it. And I think we about have the money. But we're also going to be taking more damage elsewhere here. I mean, this thing is like nearly twice the value of the first thing we fought here. Forgot to check that earlier, but I imagined that it was something like that. Oh no, they've got... We can't even do anything with the crossbow. Its point defense is too good. It's now going for the spear, most definitely. The spear's putting up a fight, though. It's burning through things. But it's taking a while. Okay, it is starting to do damage, but there's so much more ship left that can completely destroy us. We're getting shield failures. We're starting to have fires in here. You can see that stuff is getting through the shields. Yeah, this, I think we need to redesign this a bit, because it seems like things can just hit the shield generators here, even though there's these shields here, which is no good. We can't have that. Ruins half the point of the design, really. We're breaking through to those shield generators, but... Oh, hold on. You need to get back. Yep. He knows what range he should be at. Let me see where the point defense is. There's a lot on the front from what I saw. Actually, there really isn't. I see 2 there, and then... Is there anything else? I guess there were 2 over here. Is that all there was, and it was still managing to shoot these down? Yeah, we need more missiles. As it turns out, I think the focus is more on having a lot of launchers and not so many factories. That seems to be. Also, the factories are just sat here, interestingly enough. Storage is empty, though. We need more people at the front, like, maneuvering things around. They're not doing that. More people is probably important in that ship. I wonder if the estimates aren't quite right, because so far I've just been trusting those to be correct, which is not necessarily the case. We're breaking through to the shield generators, but that's not helping us that much. We need to get to... Hang on a minute, they've got to have ammo factories. Where the hell are they? I need to find them. I don't know what they look like. I think that's one. I think that's one. Yeah, I think they've got the two little windows, so that is what we're looking at. If we can get to those, we can start doing some serious damage. Where's the one on the side here? I don't even see one. How are they keeping all these running? Is this might be a first strike style deal. Actually, I do see some people there. That just looks like storage, though. Yeah, this might be a first strike kind of deal, where it just has such a ridiculous number of cannons that it annihilates you before you have a chance to fight back. Now that we've had that first hit go to the mace, we might be alright. It might not be able to keep the cannons running at all. I mean, they're all just in the default position right now, not firing. Also, I wonder if it's time yet. That's not it. Which bit is it? That bit there. It is not ready yet, but I'm totally going to rebuild that, because I'm not abandoning the mace, damn it. I'm not just going to leave it behind. It will return with a vengeance. Shield's regenerating. I think the spear's going to be alright. The crossbow, not doing much, I'll be honest, but the spear is holding its own. It's doing damage to the enemy, and the enemy's not doing damage to it anymore. Shield generator's going. It's this stupid angle it's at that is ruining it. We've just gone straight through one side. All these other shields are happily there. Gotta say, though, their power is struggling. We're not hitting these, and they're still struggling. Are they, like... They have plenty of Kroon reactors, but the distance might be what is killing them there. So yeah, this ship is built to, like, last 2 seconds. Also, it's time. I don't know if we were even allowed to, because there's another section of ship there. Oh no, this is, I think, this is the mace here. How much is this going to cost? All our money and more. But I'm going to do it. Yep, I'm going into debt. The mace has returned. It's useless for a minute. Everything is shut down, but in a minute it can get back into the fight. I keep accidentally selecting the individual parts. I need to, like, switch that off or something. There are certain uses for that, but I've not really experimented with that yet. No control unit yet. It's still getting the power in place. So at the moment, it's just a drifting hulk, but it'll be back soon. Right, the spear is continuing its work. It's getting... Oh, that's one of the factories, I think. Let's just follow the ship. Come on, destroy it. Destroy it and let there be a chain reaction. I don't know if it's enough. Oh, bit of something there. It wasn't enough, though. I was hoping maybe it would set off this one, and then that might set off this one, but I think it's too far. Shield's holding fine. The spear is in its element now. This is what it was built for. It's just keeping working through. We've got it now. We're going to get those reactors, and the whole thing's going to go up. I mean, a lot of the ship will be left, but it'll be useless because it won't be able to get any more power to anything. Oh, explosion at the back there. What was that? Was that the crossbow actually coming into play there? It knocked something out. It must have hit a factory or something. What even did it hit? Ah, there's a factory there. It might have clipped that one. No, that's still in place. What did you do? Did you just fire 6 at once and just do a bunch of damage? I don't know what happened there. How's the mace doing? It's now trying to fulfill its previous order before it was killed. Look at this mess. It's this half is running really well now, apparently, but the other half is terrible. I don't know what's going on with that. That was the bit that remained, I think, so... Or was it that bit? I don't even know, but, you're getting operational again. Get back into the fight if you can. No, not the crew quarters. The whole ship, please. We need all of it. Face properly if you can. But there we go. It's coming back, but I think the fight will be over before that happens because we are breaking through to their reactor core. And all their eggs are in one highly explosive basket. And there it goes. And that's defeated. Most of it's left, but it's defeated, and I'll take that. Is it going to keep firing? Nah, everything's deactivated. On your own ship, that wouldn't happen, but it's a mechanic of the game to make things a little bit more simple. Oh, I guess, yep, the whole thing's on fire in there now, so that it's going to go down either way. But there it is, that was a fight. Okay, everyone reconvene. What damage did the spear take? At the end of the day, very little. It looked like it was all going downhill, and then the fire starter ran out of steam. And that was that. Crossbow took damage as well. What, 2? Couple of hits there. Yeah, did the shields fail? It might have got that bad. But yeah, that was... It was a mess, honestly. I mean, even though we won at the end of the day, at what cost? Well, the cost was just under 500,000, actually. I happened to... I mean, the good thing is that as soon as we blew up that ship, we were back in the green, but that's a lot of money we just lost, and we can't keep having fights like that again. One more fight like that, and we're going to be spending multiple episodes just getting back that money. So yeah, the crossbow needs upgrading. It's crap at the moment. I was worried I'd got the numbers wrong. I think I definitely have. The mace, I don't know what to do about the mace. It needs more shields. Or to not be the strongest ship. It's supposed to be the spear, but the spear's lagging behind in that respect. So perhaps we upgrade the spear, and then make it so people go for that again. That way the mace can just have free reign on whatever section I tell it to go for. That might be the way. Also, we do need to do some rearranging here, because as we've discovered, the missiles are clipping the ship, so that needs... yeah, I think the mace needs a lot of work. Rearranging of the shields a bit. A way of getting more maneuverability out of it, and perhaps we could just remove the missile components. We now have a dedicated missile ship, so maybe we don't need that anymore. Then again, the mace's missiles were like a really awesome thing in a couple of fights, where they were... you know, they're a good way of getting around the back of the ship to knock out important bits, as are the ones on this one, but it didn't do so well. Let's do some rebuilding of that now. We're at the normal ending of an episode, but I don't want to start next episode by doing a bunch of rebuilding. Let's do it now. So, the most common suggestion I've had, and something I was thinking on myself, is to have the missiles in the side of the ship instead. So, I might just go for that. I might just scrap the stuff in the front, have a bunch of armor and shielding, because as we've seen, the enemy doesn't ignore this thing. And then just the sides are banks and banks of the things. And we can stretch them out as far as we like. And it'll mean an insane amount of missiles going the enemy's way. That's the hope. So maybe I'll just rebuild the thing from scratch. Problem is, we've not got much money now. Sort of screwed that up, but we have enough to do something. So maybe now it'll be a bit of a bodge job refit sort of thing. Yeah, I'm going to clear out some of this space, and then I'm going to start putting the missile stuff in here and see what I can fit. And I'm going to move the crew quarters up here, because we need people getting on the job of moving things around much faster than they were. They were taking too long to get to all the stuff and get the missile components moving. That was no good. So I'm just going to put... I'm going to fill this with crew instead of having it as corridor, I think. I might even bring the power closer, just because... Why not? The thing's explosive already. Yeah, let's do that. Fire extinguishers can move to like here. I mean, there's no point there because that'll blow up and then I'll be gone, but I don't know, it's a decent enough place to put them. This stuff can go to the middle for the moment. There's an expensive rearrange. Some changes have been made to how the stuff works with selling and rebuying stuff, but it only applies to it basically fixes the non-blueprint mode of rebuilding, so that it acts almost like blueprint mode, so that if you keep rearranging things over and over in one rebuild, then it will only cost you 10% rather than 25% of the object every time. You might as well still do blueprint mode, because then you won't get any losses if you keep changing around the design. So, let's start with the factories and work forward from there. I'm not too bothered about these things sticking out a bit. There's the missile factory. We'll leave a corridor behind, so that people can move around a little bit. And then having it just like this is fairly decent, I think. Actually, we'll move it up a bit. We'll have 2 separate ones, and then a bit of... We can have the launchers sunk into the design a bit, perhaps. Let's have it like this, and this. And then we can have our missile launchers right in here. Oh, that's interesting. What's this about? Weird glowing area. I don't know what that means. Is that like an area that you might want to have cleared so that missiles can maneuver as much as you like? Or is that... Oh, that might be... I have noticed that if you have missiles facing backwards in a ship, then it won't fire. What that red thing might mark is the... like the degree range within which the enemy has to be for the thing to fire. So if they're right behind, it won't fire. But if they're alongside the ship, then it will fire, that sort of thing. That makes sense. Now, I could just have them right here and go straight from the factories to the thing. To the launchers. That might be best. Another thing I could do, actually. Whoops, that was the wrong button. No, back into blueprint mode, please. Saves everything, of course, which I realise is actually a good way of doing it. I might have it like this instead, and then have the missile launchers a bit separate. I'm thinking just having them like that, cutting out the whole storage thing. It'll mean that they, like, the first volley will be brilliant. There will be huge amounts of missiles flying at the enemy, but after that, things won't be so good. Still working out, though, exactly how good the factories are. It might be that I've completely misjudged it, and one factory can feed 2 of these. It's hard to say. It seems that the limiting thing is always going to be the rate at which your crew can load and unload things. Speaking of, perhaps I should move this all out a bit so I can just put a line of crew quarters here, because definitely need that to keep things moving. Yeah, I think I'll do some sort of rearranging like that. I'd love to move the whole thing down a bit here, so I've got a bit more space to work with, but that would be death and destruction for all things involved, really. It would be massive amounts of money to do the whole thing. And money's now an issue again. We're already halfway through what we have, so crap. But if I move everything out a bit, I could go back to having them behind. That blocks that reactor, though. We don't want that. I could have it like this, though. Something like this, and then the missile launchers out here. Keeps the factories a bit more protected, because I am aware of the catastrophic destruction that might take place if I have those too close to the surface. Something like this, maybe? Then the middle's a mess, though. What do you do with this? More storage? No, that's a stupid idea. Crew might work. Let's try that. We'll just fill this thing with crew quarters here. And we're out of money. Crap. Only just, so we can cut down on a couple of things to fix that. But yeah, this could work. 2 of these feeding 3 might be a better way of doing it. It could turn out that all this is a massive waste, and so I could just cut some of this out right now. If I reposition this, will it still be... No, I don't think it is. No, it costs the same amount, actually, to have it rotated, so I could do that. I'm just thinking about maybe turning things around so they've got access in a different way. Basically doing the same thing as here. We've got 3 lined up, but... No, we've got 2 lined up, haven't we? It is a bit of a mess. So we are massively increasing the first volley potential of the ship just by doing this. Problem is we need more crew. As demonstrated here, it's terrible. Nowhere to put them right now. Alright, let's try this. I'm going to rotate this... How do we do it? These are designed to be awkward, so that you have to do a bit of messing about to make them work. I want crew to be able to get straight into it. We'll do it like that. They don't need to get there from the corridor, because we're going to put the crew here. They'll just go straight into it from their quarters. And then we will swap these out for quarters. We're back able to afford again. And yeah, we'll just fill this in. And we're once again unable to afford it. What can we get away with? Nope. We can once we do that. What if we add this back in? We can afford that. What if we add 2 small ones in? Can't afford that. 3 small ones in. Can afford that, which is the equivalent of one of these actually, but slightly more expensive, so it's not the best way of doing it, but it's neater. We're still nowhere close to the crew requirement that it gives for this number of missile launches and things. So we could potentially sell some power generation. I don't know if we need as much as we have. It's all a bit of a mess. A lot of expensive stuff at the front. Perhaps we should cut some more of this. Yeah, these are useless now, actually. They're nowhere near the factories, so they're not really going to be providing much. So yeah, now it's just factory there, manufacturing there, storage there, firing there, and then the middle is just quarters and things like that to try and actually man the things, because that seems to be the main challenge. Again, we can't afford this. Trying to make it a functional ship with the money we have, and fortunately I'm an episode too late for that. Yeah, that takes us too far over. Two small ones nestled in here, maybe? And leave it at that? Nope. Close. Selling some armor might do that. There's certain bits of armor we don't need, I'd say. That gets us back there. We still need to work on doors, though. I don't think doors are in a very good state. And actually, I am going to move those there. That's a silly place. We'll put it there, and then, again, we can't afford it. We're short by a fair chunk, actually. You know what? If the enemies behind us were already screwed, I'm going to cut this out for the moment. And now we have, I'd call that a passable crew. Far more power than we need, as it turns out. So maybe we can sort this. If I cut this down to 1, that would still work. Even if I take this out, it still says that we're nearly good in terms of power. Gonna stick that there for the moment. This thing's getting more and more messy by the minute. And then I can actually now do that. I'll totally take that opportunity. It'll about work. A little bit more armor on the side just to be safe. Also, well, let's do the doors first, because doors are important. We need to make sure they all line up in a sensible way. These do not at all, so fixing that immediately. That's fine, I suppose. People have access up to the front here. Same for these. Over here, we want doors straight from the quarters to the factories. And from the quarters to the storage, so that's good. Door between to help with, if the upper or lower ones need more. We'll move these down just for symmetry, more than anything else. Access to the outside isn't that important. Move these down. They match up with those now. These will put doors on the sides and the bottom, I think. And that's fairly decent. These need some doors. This stuff down here is fine. That is not symmetrical. Let's at least make it neat. And I think that's all good. It's an improvement, I'd say, definitely. It's going to actually be useful in the next fight, I imagine. Can we afford this little bit of extra armor on the side just to keep these safe a little bit? And then something similar on here, but perhaps a little bit more modest. Yep, that works. And perhaps reinstating some of this. What's the cheapest armor I can do? I can do little armor triangles along the back here just to catch a couple of shots. And we can't afford that. So we will cut out those. We do these at least. Can't even afford that. Just trying to stretch to a couple of extra bits of armor and I can't even do that. That cuts it down enough. It's a bit different now. Definitely had a remodel. I have noticed that this ship looks like a face. It's got like teeth here and eyes up here and a nose. It looked like that before and I think it's a more rounded, less like a tiki mask style now. But we'll... Oh, I didn't make the thing, so we'll do that. That's all our money. And I think we will try going to an elite sector again next episode and see how we fare. We've upgraded this. We've not done anything with the mace, though. That's still a mess. But perhaps people will target this now. Actually, that would be bad. We don't want that. We don't have the shielding for that at all. Anyone wants to take this thing out, they will. Yeah, hopefully our crew additions will help with the our changes of crew position, and our rearranging of the loading systems will help. But now, this thing's gonna have a devastating first strike, and that's really important, as we've learned. When the enemy had one, they nearly destroyed everything we held dear, so gotta make sure we do the same. So we'll go with that. Our upgraded crossbow, our, so far, pretty good spear, and our reborn mace, rebuilt in exactly the image of the previous ship. We rescued a wing and turned it back into a fully fledged vessel, which is pretty crazy. I do like how you can do that. It's a bit of a weird thing to just be like, and snap, the ship once again exists. Trollolol, just give us a second while we put the power back in. But, I mean, it's not too overpowered, because it does take forever for the ship to be functional again, because it starts with literally nothing and just has to begin from scratch. But yeah, we'll try it again next episode, another elite sector, and we'll see if we fare a little bit better this time, now that the crossbow is at all useful. And so with that, I shall say goodbye, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.